Hello, students. Once again, this is Professor Laura, and I'm here to help you. This is your final review lesson for English 3. We're not going to cover the speaking test, we're going to cover the writing test. Like I said before, because of the current circumstances, we are going to have a writing test that is the final test. The last half of the test is 20 questions. The midterm will be 20 questions on the first 6 chapters, and the final on the last 20 questions on the last 6 chapters. And they'll be put together in one test, and instead of each part taking 25 to 30 minutes, the whole thing is probably going to be 50 minutes to an hour. And we're going to skip that speaking test review because each professor does that a little differently. Writing test review. Okay. Like I said, the two halves will be merged to make one very long test. And that's because of the current crisis. There are 20 points. The test is multiple choice. That's on this half is 20 points. The whole thing is 40 points because it's 40% of your grade. You fill in the blank, wrong word order, write the answer. What did you do on Sundays? I did something. Then write the question. What do you do on Sundays? What do you like to do on Sundays? When do you go out? There's a lot of questions you could ask for that answer. What do you do on Sundays? You can say all sorts of things. I eat, I read, I sleep. Okay. Now there may be some multiple choice questions. They're usually about verbs. Look at your verb first. I am having popcorn at the movies. I look for your time word. That's tonight. So I will be going out to dinner tonight. If it was yesterday, I was going out to dinner last night. Okay, I went to dinner last night. So look for your time words first before figuring out what verb goes in there, okay? All right, there also may be the wrong number of things. The wrong number of things. There, although that's doubtful. Okay, now this will probably be on your test. The wrong word order. There's usually 3 or 4 of these at least. Probably 5 or 6 because they're merging the two tests together. If you know your book, then you will be able to do the wrong word orders. There might be a picture. If there is, you have to write a complete sentence about the picture, usually just one sentence. If they need more than one, they'll ask different questions about it. You can say he is tall, he is in a library, he has on a long sleeve shirt, he has short brown hair, he has a notebook, he has a pen, he is probably a student. You can say many things about this guy. Once again, question and answer. Most people are expecting a test where there are questions and they have to write the answer. However, we do it a little differently. Some of our tests are answers, and you have to think of the question. And add, delete, and change. Look at your verb first. It's probably the problem. So he is going there. You need to add the correct part. There's no verb in the sentence. It needs a verb. You need to change this because the be going there is incorrect grammar. He is be going there. There's too many verbs here, so we have to delete one. Unit 7. So they're doing an ing. I saw them laughing, I saw him working, I saw it dripping. I saw her reading, I saw him eating, I saw her smiling or laughing, I saw them talking, I saw it leaving. Okay. Meaning chunk. Verb, object, complement. He must consider you stupid. Did you get your bicycle fixed yet? He wanted me to pay full price for the repair service. So let's look what we're talking about here. Types of CO constructions. Verb, object, CO. All right. They elected. They is the subject, elected is a verb. The young man is the direct object. And the complement, the chairman. It's what they elected the young man to do or be, is the chairman. I consider him. Now, what about him? Well, he's a good teacher. Okay. He called his brother, and there's an adjective, stupid. He said that his brother was stupid. The evidence has proved him wrong. She got her coat wet. Okay, these are adjectives about, the object. Participle. I found my lost hat. Now there's an ing here, floating on the water. I watched my neighbor polishing his car. And then this one isn't an ing. He is because it's past tense. He got his stereo repaired. Because the repair was completed. Okay. Adverb or prepositional phrase. He didn't want to let her in. When you're eating, you have to keep your elbows off the table. Infinitive. The jury believed the defendant to be innocent. We all expect Lisa to marry Brian. The doctor advised my grandmother to get more rest. He made the candidate repeat the answer. I saw her wave her hand from across the street. I never heard him speak badly of others. All right. Ask and answer questions about the people appointed to a high school council. Appoint means that was the office a person is holding. It may either be an elected thing or appointed by someone specifically. So who did they appoint as president? They appointed Madeline president. So you just say what the person is right after that. What do you think of the exams? I consider them, and then your adjective. Stressful. I consider what do you think of the dormitories? I consider them comfortable. What do you think of the homework? I consider it necessary. What do you think of the library? I consider it excellent. What do you think of the cafeterias? I consider it fine. What do you think of the student center? I consider it helpful. What do you think of the gymnasium? I consider it good. What do you think of the computer labs? I consider it modern. All right. What did he ask you to do? He asked me to, and then what it was. Babysit his daughter, check his car, unplug a toilet, take a test for him, spy on another company, and buy his Christmas gifts. This person has a weird boss asking her to do a bunch of things that are not her job. All right. Getting things done. You got it fixed. You had it painted by interior designers. Okay. He's having it painted by interior designers. Okay. I'm not printing the invitations. I'm getting them printed professionally. So let's go to the pink one at the top. I didn't fix my car. I got it fixed at the service center. My friend isn't painting his apartment. He's having it painted by interior designers. I'm not printing the invitations. I'm getting them printed professionally. Our company doesn't deliver packages. It has them delivered by a courier. Tomas, courier is someone who brings packages or mail or something from one person to another directly. Tomas didn't bake the cake. He had it baked for him. We didn't arrange the party decorations. We got them arranged by a party planner. They don't do their own taxes. They have them done at a tax firm. Kaylin didn't create her own website. She had it created by her assistant. I don't do laundry. I have it done by maid service each week. Unit 8. Write the two infinitive form of the words in the box to match the pictures. To play, to see, to work, let's say, all right, food, sights to see, games to play, work to do, food to eat, mountains to climb, books to read, gifts to buy or give, gifts to give, places to stay. Module 3. We're going to read the meeting chunk. There will be a lot of new products to see and designers to meet. To infinitive is used as either an adjective or an adverb in that sentence. I'm going to find a gift idea from my dad. Your dad will be happy to get any gift. Every year I try really hard only to fail. Now, there is a machine to test blood pressure. There's so many sights to see and foods to taste. He will be the first, he will be the second, he will be the last person to speak. Verb. I arrived early in order to, or so as to, catch the first train. In order to and so as to mean exactly the same thing. Okay. You're doing something for a reason, and that's the reason why you did it. I came here just to say goodbye or only to say goodbye. To read the letter, the man adjusted his glasses. Few people will live to be 100. He will not survive to see the victory. It's used as the verb. The adverb's used as a verb. Adjective. I'm sorry to say that your name is not on the list. She is excited to announce the contest winners. Adverb. We've gone too far to turn back around. They played well enough to win. Okay. Now you're planning a corporate event. You're talking about what should be done first, second, third, next, then, after that, on the day of the party, means the same day, and afterwards, what you're going to do after the party. Okay. So what should we do first? First, we have a budget to plan. To plan. So you're doing the verb as an infinitive, to plan. All right. Then the seconds. What should we do second? Second, we have a date to set. Third, we have a location to select. 4, we have a theme to choose. 5, we have invitations to send. 6, we have photographers to hire. 7, we have VIPs to greet. And then we have, afterwards, we have networks to build. Okay. Know your ordinal thing, what's done in what order. First, second, third, that sort of thing. Next, then, after that, and afterwards. And then you say we have, and then what you're going to do, a budget to plan, location to select. Okay. I wouldn't worry about this except to say that what does the letter say? And then you quote it. It says, and then congratulations, that's good to hear, or I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Goals and recommendations. To succeed in a new job. Oh, well, let's do for first one. In order to learn a new language, you need to practice speaking regularly. To succeed in a new job, you have to impress your boss. In order to run a profitable restaurant, you ought to have a simple menu. To graduate the top of your class, you should review your notes after class. To remember everyone's birthday, you can enter the dates in a calendar. In order to create a popular song, you need to make a good melody. In order to stay healthy, you must eat healthy and exercise. Unit 9. What are the most important qualities in a partner? So that question may be on the test. What do you think the most important quality is in a partner? For me, intelligence and sense of humor. Appearance is dead last. I just don't care. All right. Is she the friend who? Okay, meaning chunk. Relative pronoun clauses. Is she the friend who you told me about last week? She's coming to the fundraiser that we're doing on Saturday. The last relationship that I had didn't go well. She's the one whose brother is a TV star. What you arrange is fine with me. Who or that is about people. Look at the guy who is tall over there. Which or that is about things. I want the shoes which are bigger. So you have to know the difference between people and things on your test. Remember, which is only used with things. That can be used with people or things. Who is only used with people. Okay, whom. All right, he or him. If the answer is he, use who. If the answer is him, use whom. Okay, grammar focus. Relative pronoun clauses. N is the antecedent. Who or that is relative program, or which or that. And the relative clause. Okay, personal subject. The person who or that called yesterday wants to see you. Object. The girl whom or that you met is my sister. We need associates whom or that we can work with. That's the object. Subject complement. She is not the star player who, or, okay, star player is actually, you can use which because it's a title. Who, which, or that she used to be. She's not the star player who she used to be, or that she used to be. I would say that she used to be makes more sense. Object complement. He did not become the performer that his father hoped to make him. Possessive. My friend whose. WHOSE means somebody owns something. My friend whose car. So, your friend owns the car. Okay. My friend whose car I borrowed wants it back tomorrow. Subject. I rented a room which cost me $500 a month. Object. There was some reason that I did not understand. This is a problem which he alone has to deal with, or that he alone has to deal with. Subject complement. That is not the design that it was supposed to be. Object complement. Her husband didn't like the color that she dyed her hair. Possessive. Look at the house whose windows are broken. They're saying the house owns the windows, so the windows on the house. All right, so those were non-personal, meaning they're not about an individual, they're about a thing. Okay. All right, subject. No antecedent. He does only what is best for the family. What you have done is wrong. That is not what I hope for. Now, in this case, you can use the thing which. The thing which you have done is wrong. Normally, we would just say what because it's less words. That's not what I hope for. That's not exactly what it should be. Subject complement, object complement. What I consider the end result was disappointing. All right. Now, we're talking a lot of repairs were happened and jobs happened, and they're talking about who did these things. Okay, so, and it was done. Who is Jack? He's the man who fixed the sink. Who is Peter? He's the man who repaired the car. Who is Marcus? He's the man who changed the lights. Who is Andy? He's the one who installed the oven. Who is Carl? He's the one who connected the internet. Who is James? He's the one who painted the walls. Wow, you had a lot of people working on one place, didn't you? All right, family reunion. Who is the girl who I met at the door? The girl that you met at the door was my niece. So Ben met so many people at the family reunion, he can't remember who was who, and he's asking who these people were. Who was the man I talked to at dinner? The man who you talked to at dinner was my father. Who were the children I saw outside? The children that you saw outside were my cousins. Who was the woman that I helped in the kitchen? The woman that you helped in the kitchen was my grandmother. Who was a woman that I heard upstairs? The women that you heard upstairs were my aunts. Who was the boy I found in the garage? The boy you found in the garage was your nephew. Who was the man? Who were the men I saw at the barbecue? They were my uncles. Okay. Talk with a partner about. Okay, we were talking about how to save money while traveling. How can you save on airfare? You can fly on days that are the cheapest. How can you save on accommodations? Accommodations is where you're sleeping, your hotel. You can stay in rooms that are shared. How can you save on attractions? You can visit museums that are free. How can you save on transportation? You can take buses that are public. How can you save on insurance? You can use policies that are basic. How can you save on money exchanges? You can go to banks that are specialized. How do you save on food? You can eat at restaurants that are local. All right. Classroom activity 1. These are what is your ideal. Ideal means perfect. Ideal means perfect. An ideal older sibling is generous. Someone who is generous, someone who is not mean. So good qualities. Let's read the boxes at the bottom and understand what they mean. Generous means someone who gives money or time. Charismatic means people love being around them, they like them, they think they're amazing. Intelligent, that means very smart. Sociable means very friendly. Outgoing. Ambitious means you want to make a better life for yourself. That could be money, that could be being healthy, it could be a lot of things. Dependable, that means when you say you're going to do something, you do it. That's being dependable. Reliable, that means when you, it's a lot like dependable. When you say you're going to do something, you do it, and you're there, and you do what you say you're going to do. Sympathetic, that means you care about other people. Bad qualities. Mean, that means you're just say terrible things. You're mean. Aggressive means you're always pushing into situations and trying to get your way. Boring, it means people just fall asleep when they're around you. Impulsive, that means you think of you just do whatever is in your brain, even if it's crazy. Bad tempered, that means you're always angry or fearful or crazy. Bossy, that means you're always telling other people what to do. Egotistical. Ego is your sense of self. Egotistical people only think about themselves. Selfish. Well, egotistical people also believe that they are wonderful and everyone else is horrible. Selfish means it's all about me, 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 and I don't care about anyone else. Okay. All right, so older sibling. A sibling is a brother or sister. An older sibling is a brother or sister older than you. Friend, roommate. Roommate is someone you live with. Spouse, that means a person you're married to. Your boss or your parent. Okay. So let's read the brown box at the top. An ideal older sibling is someone who is generous. An ideal older sibling is someone who is not mean. Okay? So you can make as many sentences as you like, combining the good qualities and the bad qualities. The most important thing for your writing test is, first of all, be able to make the sentence in the gold box. Second of all, that is a really good sentence. Both of them are really good sentences to have wrong word order, so check that out. and know what these qualities mean. The good qualities mean, the bad qualities mean. If that means you have to look it up in a dictionary, go ahead and do that. Be sure you know what this is. This is a great question. What is your ideal roommate? What is your ideal friend? Okay? That question may be on the test. Let me repeat that. The question may be on the test, either on the writing test or on the speaking test. What is your ideal friend? What is your ideal roommate? My ideal roommate is generous. My ideal roommate is very quiet. Okay. All right. Unit 10. All right. To lend is to let someone use something. To borrow is to use something and then return it. Okay, once again, to lend is to let someone use something. To borrow is to use something and return it. So you can lend people money. To borrow, you borrow something like a pencil and then you give it back. Okay. Could you lend me? Okay. You lend me. Okay. You want someone to lend something to you. When you say I borrow, okay, that's the difference. Could you lend me a suitcase? May I borrow one of your books? Can you lend me a cup of sugar? Might we borrow some money from you? May I borrow a tent for my camping trip? Can you lend us a drill? Could I borrow a table for my party? May I use your truck? May I borrow your truck on moving day? Um, Normally, I wouldn't let someone borrow a vehicle unless you have really good insurance. All right. Let's present and past modals. You can count on me. Modals are can, could, may, might, will, would, should. Okay. And shall, which is not used very often. Present and past modals. You can count on me. Could you help us move on Saturday? May I ask you a question? I might be free. We will start in the morning. Carl said he would help. What time should I show up? Okay. Now, it goes from informal, can and may, to formal, will and shall. Shall is old-fashioned. We normally don't use it anymore. Unless we're making a joke. Shall I open a window? You're being incredibly formal in order to show respect for someone or to make them laugh. Okay. All right. Again, can becomes could, may becomes might, will becomes would, shall becomes should. Can. It's either permission or a possibility. Or an ability. He can play the piano. Can I borrow your pen? You can sleep at our house. Possibility. Walking at night can be dangerous. May. Permission. May I be excused from the table? You may have another cookie. Possibility. The store may be closed on Sunday. Will. Future. I will call you as soon as I arrive. Shall is a suggestion about the future. Shall we dance? Shall I open a window? Or future, I shall look forward to seeing you again. Using the past form of the modals. Can and could. Past ability. I could do cartwheels when I was younger. Permission. Could you lend me some money until next week? You could have a seat while you wait. Possibility. We could take a taxi instead of walking. May becomes might. Permission. Might I have a taste of your pie? Your speech might persuade the council. Will becomes would, future from past. The owner of the building said it would be torn down later. He said it in the past, so would becomes past form. Instead of will, it becomes would. We believe that he would soon realize his mistake. Possibility. Choosing a leader would help our situation. Shall becomes should. Obligation. You should follow the commander's orders. Possibility. The roast beef should be done by now. Okay, these are all the things that are in a backpack that you could borrow. May I borrow? Could I borrow? And so, can I borrow? Could I borrow? May I borrow your pen, umbrella, cell phone, backpack, all that sort of thing? The answer is yes, of course. Yes, here you are. Sure, no problem. Refusing permission is no, I don't have one. I don't have any. Sorry, I'm afraid you can't. Sorry, I'm using it or using them now. Okay. All right, now these are the things that could happen on Andy's trip. Someone is warning him about possible consequences. Like you could get lost. You could, let's see, I'll go camping by myself. You could get lost. I'll set up a tent by myself. You could break it. I will build a fire by myself. You could start a forest fire. I'll pick berries by myself. You could get sick. I'll go canoeing by myself. You could drown. I'll walk in the woods by myself. You could get insect bites. All right. So you're going to talk about things will be. Do you think sea levels keep rising? I don't think they will. I do think they will. So you basically have to think about what these are. Do you think sea levels keep rising or will keep rising? Okay, will happen. Okay. I don't think they will. I think they will. I think that. Okay. I would. Things you have never done but you would like to do. Know at least one of these. Unit 11. Imagine you won the lottery. What if I won the lottery? I would. W-O-U-L-D. I would donate some money to charity. I would take a trip around the world. I would buy the house of my dreams. I wouldn't throw a party for all my friends. I would make safe financial investments. I wouldn't go on a giant shopping spree. I would start some expensive hobbies. All right, meaning chunk, second conditional. If I had more time, I would certainly get more sleep. Then, if I got more sleep, I might have energy to do some things I enjoy. If I had enough money, I would do all sorts of interesting things. If I were rich, I could relax all day long. I wish I were rich. What would you do if you had more time? All right, the structure of a second conditional sentence. If something, it's an unreal present. It's an unreal present. If plus subject plus verb in the past. The result clause is subject plus modal past plus verb. The tense meaning is unreal present. If I had lots of money, I would buy a sports car. If I were a bird, I could fly away. If she were in Los Angeles, she might be an actress. If I lived alone, I should feel awfully lonely. Other expressions using second conditional. As if. He talks as if, and it's a verb is in the past in that sentence. He talks as if he knew everything. Talks as if he knew everything. Okay. Wish plus subject plus past verb. I wish I were a famous singer. Okay. I wish I were. Okay. Now, if it was not for the vaccine, many people would be sick. Okay, so you need to know if it were not for, and then you talk about what would happen if it hadn't been for that. I wish I had. Be able to answer the question, be able to write about something you wish you had. I wish I had 2 sisters. I wish I knew how to snowboard. Okay, now, once again, we need to understand personality. Sociable means you're very friendly. Practical means you're very good at doing the next indicated thing without getting emotional about it. You're able to separate your emotions out from what you need to do. Intelligent means you're very smart. Charismatic means it's very easy for you to get other people to do what you want them to do. Direct means you're very clear about what you say. Enterprising means you're a very hard worker and you want to learn and do new things. Independent means you like doing things by yourself. Generous means you're very helpful to the people around you, either with money or your time. And careful means that you do what you need to do slowly and completely to be sure you've done it correctly. If I were more sociable, I would make friends easily. If I were more practical, I would save money. If I were more intelligent, I would get better grades. If I were more charismatic, I would be a leader. If I were more direct, I would say what I think. If I were more enterprising, I would start a business. If I were more independent, I would live alone. If I were more generous, I would help those around me. If I were more careful, I'd make fewer mistakes. All right. Could you be a teacher? And then I could be a teacher if. Could you be a teacher? I could be a teacher if I did not hate children. Okay. Could you be a doctor? I could be a doctor if I was not scared of germs. Could you be an editor? I could be an editor if I did not make spelling mistakes. Could you be an engineer? I could be an engineer if I was not terrible at math. Could you be a singer? I could be a singer if I did not have a bad voice. Could you be a builder? I could be a builder if I was not afraid of heights. Could you be a farmer? I could be a farmer if I did not like to sleep late. Could you be a chef? I could be a chef if I was not sensitive to stress. Okay, if you could buy anything, what would you buy? Again, these are very good test questions, and they're also good speaking test questions. If uh, if you could meet a celebrity, who would you like to meet? If you could go anywhere, where would you like to go? If you could eat any meal, what would you eat? If you could choose any job, what would you choose? If you could save only one thing you own, what would it be? If you could do anything for one day, what would you do? I wouldn't worry about the test. That test there. Okay. Now we're talking about should have. I'm hungry. I should have eaten lunch. I'm soaked. I should have brought an umbrella. I'm tired. I should have slept more. I'm cold. I should have brought a jacket. I'm confused. I should have followed the instructions. I'm late. I should have left earlier. Okay. Tense forms. All right. Conditional clause. If something had and the verb. Subject, if plus subject plus had plus past participle of the verb. The result is subject plus past modal, could, would, might, should, plus have plus past participle of the verb. And it's an unreal past, the past that didn't happen. If he had arrived earlier, I could have spoken with him. If I had been luckier, I would have won the poker game. If she had worn the red dress, she might have appeared more noticeable. If I had known better, I should have started saving earlier for my retirement. Notice, if it had not been for your help, I couldn't have succeeded. All right, let's keep going. So in an emergency situation, in a fire, what would you have done? What would you have done? I would have activated the fire alarm. I would have left the fire area. It's past participle. Left the fire area. I would have helped people in danger. I would have called the fire department. I would have closed the doors and windows. I would have stayed as low as possible. I would have avoided using the elevators, and I would have gone to the assembly point. The assembly point is when there's a fire or other emergency that you meet outside of a building to make sure everyone is okay. A group of amateur actors is reflecting on the success of their first performance. It would not have been possible without everyone's help. You're going to make sentences with the partner to explain how each person contributed. So, had it not been for, name of the person, we could not have the thing. Had it not been for Sam, we could not have chosen the script. Had it not been for Claire, we could not have gotten the performance rights. The performance rights is a right to perform that particular play or musical. Had it not been for Matt, we could not have found the venue. A venue is a place to have a play or a concert or something like that. Had it not been for Naomi, we could not have arranged the auditions. Had it not been for Dan, we could not have assembled a crew. Had it not been for Maya, we could not have cast the actors. Had it not been for Bill, we could not have created the sets. Had it not been for Wayne, we could not have sold the tickets. Now, you're talking about what you would have done if something. This is a really good test question. What would you have done if and the answer is I would have, and then what you would have done. What would you have done if it hadn't rained last weekend? I would have taken my dad to a baseball game if it hadn't rained. I would have held a garage sale if it hadn't rained. A garage sale is where you sell your old stuff. Now you can do that on eBay or Etsy or something. All right. I would have had a picnic in the park if it hadn't rained. I would have gone miniature golfing if it hadn't rained. I would have made a flower bouquet, which is a group of flowers you hold in your hand, if it hadn't rained. I would have drawn pictures at the beach if it hadn't rained. I would have bought food at the farmer's market if it hadn't rained. I would have sat on the patio with some friends if it hadn't rained. All right. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verb in parentheses. If I had stayed longer, I should have met your brother. She would have been caught if she had tried to sell the stolen artwork. Remember, it's had and past participle, had tried. If you had not forgotten your purse, we wouldn't have missed the bus. I wouldn't have believed it if I had not seen it myself. If you had added more salt, the soup would have tasted better. If she had noticed a stop sign, she could have avoided the accident. Okay. They might have come to the reception if they had heard about the live band. If he had looked out the window, he would have remembered to bring an umbrella. The snake probably wouldn't have bitten you if you hadn't stepped on its tail. All right. Results clauses. This is a result of what have happened. I may have left earlier if I'd thought about traffic. If you had not worn your shoes in the house, you would not have ruined the carpet. As she listened to me, she would have known better than to trust him. You would have realized the snack was unhealthy if you had read the label. He would not buy her a ring if he would not have bought her a ring if she had understood her true feelings. If you'd accepted her help sooner, you should not have found yourself in this situation. They could have saved a lot of money if they had booked their hotel online. I might have died if it had not been for the safety belt. All right. Use this lesson to study for your written exams. and good luck. Have a great day.